about everything, and you mean so much to me. So we're just gonna get into the questions that you guys asked. But before that, I just have one little disclaimer rant. I'm gonna complain, I guess. I don't really care how it comes off because like it's upsetting. So recently, I guess kind of when I like made posts about asking questions, like asking for questions, I got a handful of questions asking me about my physical appearance in a negative way. And I just feel like I shouldn't have to tell you this, but don't ask people why they look the way that they look. It's none of your business. Like I got some people who asked me, like, they told me how I should do my eyebrows and like why I didn't have more of an arch in my eyebrow. Like, it's an eyebrow, baby. Like it doesn't matter. And then someone asked me like why I overline my lips because my lips are so naturally beautiful. Like, I shouldn't have to tell you this either, but that's not what I meant when I said to ask me questions. It's rude to ask people why they do things. It's obviously because they like it or that's how they know how to do it, and it's really none of your business. And I personally struggle with my physical appearance. I have really bad body dysmorphia, and you don't know what you're doing to someone, and when you comment negative things on people's YouTube videos, you send it into cyberspace and you forget. You're like, whatever, like, but it stays with that person. I don't let it bother me. Usually it was just like, sometimes I feel like you have to remind people to stop doing it, which is so silly, but yeah, just stop commenting. If you don't like the way that I look, either don't watch my videos or close your eyes and listen. If you don't like my voice, I don't care. Like, I don't care. So yeah, anyways, I'm just wanted to put that out there because it was something that I was like, it was a little overwhelming. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, it was just strange. And I just told myself that maybe these people just have really poor social skills and they don't know what's appropriate. So anyways, it was rude, and we're gonna move on to the questions, and I'm gonna shake it off, and I'm gonna be happy. Okay, so the first question, and I got this question a lot: what's your favorite book? I've answered this a few times in the past. It's either Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I also really like Leviathan. What can I say? Yeah. And then also, I'm just like a really huge Cassandra Clare fan, so there's that. Okay, moving on. You often talk about your extended family, and I know that you live with your sister. Do you always get along with one another? I get along with my twin. Yeah, we get along pretty well. We have like occasional little spats, but not a huge deal. The rest of my family, I think it would be like a huge lie to say that we all get along and it's always rainbows and butterflies all the time. But like 90% of my extended family, like my blended family is more like, I think, a better word for it, because it's really just multiple families connected into one family now. Familiar unit. We get along pretty well. Like weddings, graduations, birthday parties, that kind of thing go off pretty easily without a hitch. We've all kind of decided, well, I think like my mom and my dad and my stepdad and my stepmom all kind of decided that the kids, it was more important for us to not be stressed out and like worried and not being able to have one of them there, etc., etc. So they get along really well. Also, a lot of that kind of thing is in the past, so everyone gets along pretty well. There's some tension occasionally, but I think that it's like a normal kind of thing. So yeah. How did you do at school, and what was your favorite subject? Like elementary school and high school, I did quite well. I wasn't like the smartest in the class, but I was like 80s, 90s, like high 80s, low 90s usually. And my favorite subject in school was English. I wanted to be a writer at one point, and I like fancied myself this great storyteller. teller. Yeah, so I really liked that. My favorite meal. I just want to say like a good Ukrainian Christmas meal, like pierogies and ham and cabbage rolls. But I don't necessarily think that that's like flavor-wise necessarily. It's more of like whenever like my mom or my dad make that kind of meal, it's usually a holiday and so like people are around, so like that's my favorite kind of meal, if that makes sense. A favorite drink on an evening out. So I have a couple. I have like a roundabout answer to this, I guess. So if I'm at a restaurant, for drinks with friends or whatever, usually a mojito or a gin, like a mixed gin kind of drink, just because mojitos are hard to make at home. Like I don't have mint leaves, and gin's really expensive, so if I'm gonna be paying for like an expensive drink, I should buy like an expensive kind of liquor that I'm not gonna buy at home. But if I'm like at the club, not at a restaurant, but if I'm like at the club, I used to go for a Long Island iced tea notoriously, because there's 3 kinds of alcohol in it. But I'll also go for a rum and coke or a Corona. It all just depends on, there's a lot of factors, so yeah, if that makes sense. That's my long answer. Yeah, so mojito, gin, Corona, rum and coke. I haven't had a Long Island iced tea in a while because there was an incident. Anyways, moving on. Favorite ASMR channels. My favorite ASMR channel is Maddie ASMR. And quite recently, a second runner-up is, what's her name? I think it's Cha Cha Note ASMR. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's a she. Yeah, they have acrylics. I'm pretty sure it's a she. Not 100% sure. I think it's a woman. Cha Cha. They do like bullet journaling with no talking. Usually no talking. I don't watch the talking ones. I've only recently found her, like a couple weeks, and I watch them to like actually like flawlessly fall asleep. Like if I know, like I'm like I fall asleep, like I don't want to pay attention, like I just want to sleep. I watch Cha Cha's bullet journal videos, and yeah, it's a new one. I just found them a couple weeks ago and I'm obsessed. And sometimes I have to like, well, sometimes I'm like disappointed in the artistic choices because I'm like I wouldn't make that, but yeah. So I'll link Cha Cha in the comments because you guys should check them out. They're amazing. I'm obsessed. And then my favorite joke. I'm not really like a joke teller in like the classical sense, and I don't know, I don't have one. My favorite joke. I have a joke, but it's wildly inappropriate. I'm not gonna tell it. Because I'll get banned from YouTube. Okay. Next question. What is your zodiac? I'm a Taurus. I'm a May Taurus. So, basically, you don't want anything to do with me unless you can handle a lot of stubbornness. What is your dream vacation? Bora Bora. But that's like wildly expensive, so that's why it's like a hobby of mine very recently. I'm really into like fashion. I would say that fashion has like a higher upstanding now than makeup, but I'm not as good at fashion. So fashion. That kind of thing. Yeah. My favorite makeup product. I got this question a lot. I know that. My favorite makeup product is either Freck. I can't live without the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in Cabo, but I need a lip liner. And recently, you guys know, the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil Bronzer, unfortunately. Those are my favorite, like, all-time makeup products I've ever used. Yeah. Do your friends and family know about your channel? Most of my friends and most of my family. So, I'm not very good at sharing things. I know that might come as a shock to you, but, if you don't ask me directly, I'm probably not gonna tell you. I'm very private. I know that might come off like you might not feel that way, but I am incredibly private. I learned a long time ago that there's certain things that you should just keep to yourself, because people will hurt you, and I know that that's not necessarily like a healthy coping mechanism, and I know that, but yeah, so I'm not good at sharing if you don't ask, and so a lot of my family knows. Some of them just don't get it. Yeah, but most of my friends are really supportive. My mom's really supportive. I've talked about that. And my sisters are pretty good about it. My brother doesn't know, but he never asked. So yeah. And how did you get the courage to post your first video? Well, my first ASMR video was super easy for me to post because I did have a makeup channel. I do have it, but I don't post anything on it, and there's only a few videos left up that I didn't private. So the courage to post my first like actual video to YouTube, I think the courage kind of came from, I was like, no one's gonna watch it. No one's gonna watch it, so it's the big deal. Yeah, I guess also the story, I started posting like makeup pictures on Instagram, and so I kind of just slowly built my way up because people were like liking my Instagram pictures, and like my friends were, so it was like a gradual thing. I'm very pro like post and like ignore it. So yeah, I don't really know. I find it really weird because I'm not very courageous, I don't think, but then everyone's like, how did you do it? And I'm like, I don't know, I just forced myself to do it. Yeah, I think just kind of, if you want advice on how to post a video, just do it. Just do it, like, the world won't end if you do it. So, yeah. Okay, up next question. I know you've been out of high school for a while now, but I've recently graduated and I'm struggling to adjust to no longer having my days planned out. What was it like for you when you graduated? How did you transition into the real world? That's a good question. Well, to be honest with you, this summer after I graduated high school was a disaster. I was fighting with my mom a lot, and I just felt like weird. So I understand what you're feeling like. I felt really weird. I think probably my best advice is plan your own day out. Literally plan your own day out. Like, make yourself responsible again. Like, just because you aren't in high school anymore, it doesn't mean that you don't have to plan your day out. You don't have to wake up early. Like, you can still continue to have a structured day. If that's something you're struggling with, just structure your day, but don't beat yourself up if, oh, you were gonna go on a walk at 2 p.m. and it's 2:30 and you didn't go on the walk yet, like, whatever. And a big transition for me into the real world, I guess, was when I went to university that fall after I graduated high school. That kind of helped me get into more of a routine. So I had to go to class, and I always went to class. I wasn't someone that skipped class. So I went to class, and then I would come home and I would study. like a script writer, like a screenplay writer. And now as an adult, I don't really know. Don't talk to me about my future plans. I don't have any. Yeah, I mostly wanted to be a baker because I really liked baking, and I wanted to own a bakery, and it was like this cute thing, and like it looked like I was like destined for success because like I had this plan at like 13. Yeah, and now I think that like I still want to do like writing and like storytelling, that kind of thing. I just don't really know how to get there, I guess. So yeah. Up next, the next question is, would you like to visit Russia? I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I'd rather go to the Ukraine than Russia if I was like to go over in that area. Just because my family is from the Ukraine. Like my ancestry is, so that would be more important to me. If that makes sense. Okay. The next question is just money or love. Love. Love 100%. I just think that you can have all the money and success in the world, and if you don't have love and happiness and people to share with, it doesn't really matter. And I know there's like two different kinds of thoughts there, but I'm the kind of person where I have noticed a difference whether you have like love in your life and love not in your life, and I just prefer to feel love than have copious amounts of money. So yeah. The next question is, what's your favorite TV show? Currently it's Superstore. How important is appearance to you? I feel like this is a trick question. I'd say it's important. Like, I think it's important to like leave the house looking presentable and put together. I'm also a huge believer in look good, feel good. So I wouldn't say I'm incredibly vain or anything like that. I just think that it's important to like get ready for the day and feel good and like brush your hair before you leave the house and like change out of your pajamas. So I guess it's important, yes. Very important. Yeah. The next question is, what can't you live without? My sister or my mother. And water. Yeah. What's your favorite song at the moment? Stay by the Kid Laroi featuring Justin Bieber, because I'm super obsessed with the Kid Laroi, and I just don't know why, and I just can't constantly listen to him, and it's just because I used to be really obsessed with Juice WRLD, and I was like, oh my god, Juice WRLD died, and I was like literally crying at work, and I was like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened. So then I found the Kid Laroi, and I was like, salvation. Yeah. Okay, what's something you want us to know about you, but you haven't gotten a chance to mention yet? That's a really cute question. A really, really cute question. I don't know. It probably had to do with the fact that I am like an incredibly private person. I know it probably seems like I share a lot, but I do find it really important to keep things to myself. Yeah. Like if something really bad happens, I don't really share it. I don't know. Something else that I haven't got a chance to mention. I don't really know. There's a lot of things. Okay, next question. My favorite book series. Okay. I don't remember what it's called, so this is super embarrassing. I read it on iBooks last summer. I'm gonna put the title like on the screen because I forget what it's about, but basically it's about like time traveling and romance. And I just found it really interesting. I know that sounds silly that I can't remember my favorite book series, but it's I really like filming Get Ready With Me's most of the time because I can just like talk and talk and talk. So I really like filming those, but they take a long time. And oddly enough, I like filming like little like trigger videos where I'm kind of like experimenting because I think that's really fun for me. I'm a child at heart. That's something that you maybe don't know about me. Like I'm very childish, but not in like an immature kind of way, but in like a very like sense of adventure. Like let's do it. And I get that from my mom because she still has this like insane childlike sense of wonder, and that's what I love about her. So there's that. Anyways, my favorite ASMR videos to watch. I really like hauls, and I really like whisper rambles, that kind of thing. And then I really like those bullet journal videos I was talking about, and like people, like ASMR Galaxy when they're like painting on Procreate. I really like those ones. Yeah. And the next question is, what non-ASMR videos do you like to watch? Architectural design when they do like their home tours. Love that. I love watching vlogs like Emma Chamberlain. I talk about her all the time. I used to really like watching makeup tutorials, but I'm kind of over those. Not super interested. I watch educational stuff. I watch a lot of pop culture because I'm upset. Like I like pop culture, so that kind of stuff. Yeah. Dream places to travel. Okay, so Bora Bora. I really want to go to England and like the UK, that kind of thing. Greece is really gonna be dope, I think. Australia, I think. That kind of thing. I want to go like so many places, mostly everywhere. Like I could make you more of a list of like where I don't want to go. So, yeah. My favorite ASMR triggers. My favorite triggers to listen to are people whispering. When people have acrylic nails and they tap. That's so good. And I like crinkles as well. I like crinkles. Okay. Next question. What got you interested in ASMR? I've told this story a bunch of times. It was Tati Westbrook. She mentioned it, and then I couldn't sleep because I was in a very abusive relationship. Trigger warning, probably. So I wasn't sleeping, and I needed help sleep. So, yeah. If you could collaborate with one ASMR artist, who would it be? I've answered this question a million times, but it would be Maddie ASMR. So, yeah. Next question. Do you like sports? Not really. Not really. That's the true answer, is not really. Not really. Do you like video games? Not overly either. Sometimes, in the rare occasion, I'll get like really obsessed with like an app on my phone. Like, there was a month period after I graduated from college. I was jobless, just in my apartment alone at one point, and all I did was play PUBG. And if you don't know what that is, it's Player Underground Battle. PUBG. Player Underground Battle, yeah. Anyways, I played PUBG for like a month, so yes but no, because I don't regularly play video games. But then once in a while, I do. Okay. If you had to take 3 items to an island with you, what would they be? Lip balm. Lip balm. Just any 3 items. Lip balm. A multi-tool. Lip balm, a multi-tool. And isn't, like, my life experiences have been a little bit different, but probably so have yours from someone else. So being a twin is great, but it's not much more different than having a sibling, other than the fact that people stare at you because you look similar. People stare at you and, like, yeah. So, yeah, basically. What's your favorite song of all time? I've answered this before too, I think. Bella Wood by Garth Brooks. If you were a musician, what type of music would you like to make? Honestly, I would make, like, sad, post-hardcore, singer-songwriter, cry yourself to sleep music. Have you ever been to a concert? What was your favorite? I've been to several concerts. My favorite concert... my favorite concert might have been... I don't know. They were all good for different reasons. I think my favorite concert that I went to, this is gonna show my yee. It was Luke Combs. Not necessarily because I think that the sun shines out of his ass, because it was the opening bands that I liked more. But it was just, like, a really fun time. Like, my sister and I went, we had a really fun time. So it had, like, less to do with the performance and more to do with the experience I had. Yeah. Have you ever stopped listening to a certain music, and why? I go through phases where I like country music and I don't like country music, if that helps. Because country music, I grew up in a rural area, so it was, like, very common for me to hear it, so I like it. But then I think about, like, a lot of the negativity towards it, and, like, some of the people in country music. Yeah. Are you a good singer or a dancer? No. Neither. Do you enjoy musical movies? It depends, but not overly. I'm not, like, into musicals. Except for Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia, here we go again. Mama, how can I forget you? You know what I mean? Okay. Next question. What's your go-to Starbucks drink? Grande cold brew with almond milk and 2 pumps of caramel. It used to be a white chocolate mocha, iced white chocolate mocha. But then after I got out of isolating for 6 months last year, I was drinking coffee at home, and then I drank it again, and it was just way too sweet. I was used to more of, like, a coffee taste because I was just putting creamer in coffee at home, and white chocolate mochas are very, very sweet, so I just kind of, like, outgrew that. Would you rather travel to mountains or the beach? The beach. What's your favorite movie? You guys always make me answer this. My comfort movies change, but they last for long periods of time. Currently, it's still To All the Boys I've Loved Before. But my favorite movie is The Family Stone. It's a Christmas movie. How many countries have you visited so far? 1, 2, 3. I think 4 or 5. It's a little iffy on the borders, but 4 or 5. What do you like most about living in Canada? I like living in Canada because I like the safety. It's relatively safe to live here, especially where I live. I like the safety of it all. It's just overall, like, a very calm place to live, like, very calm and safe, and there's healthcare. It's just so hard to explain. Like, I hear about other people living in other countries, and they're all just like, I was afraid at the pharmacy today, and I'm like, literally never happened. Like, and I think it probably has less to do with me living in Canada particularly, and more to do with me living in Saskatchewan. It's very safe here. It really is. I really like nature and the outdoors, that kind of thing. And there's also says no. The next question, are you a good cooker? I think so. I really like to do it, so yes. Do you drive? I do drive. I've driven since I was 14. I don't tell the police that. I could drive since I was 14, and I got my driver's license when I was 16, so I've been driving for over 10 years. I think I'm I'm a good driver, but I wouldn't say that like I'm the best driver that's ever existed. Yeah. Do you plan on having kids one day? I do, maybe. I'm not against it. The older I get, the more interested I am in adopting. So, yeah. And if so, have you ever thought about names? Yes, I'm really into like gender neutral names where you're like, is that a little boy? Is that a little girl? We'll never know. My most embarrassing moment. I'm really clumsy, so I've had like so many. I'll just like fall down. So there's that. Probably my other most embarrassing moment was just like getting absolutely destroyed by a customer when I used to work in retail. No, I'll tell you my most embarrassing moment. I was working the cash register at Victoria's Secret, and this man and I'm assuming it was his girlfriend for all intents and purposes, it was his girlfriend, came in, and he was buying her some lingerie, it was all good, and this man literally threw cash at me to pay. It was so humiliating. And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I was like, you're not sorry. And I just like picked it up or whatever and did the transaction. And then the lady behind him was like, she came up and she told me that she was just about to just go kick his ass because that was so rude. And like, obviously I shouldn't have that happen to me. And I was like, yes, thank you. So yeah. The next question, your biggest accomplishment in life so far. This is gonna sound so silly. Being alive still. Graduating from university when I was in an abusive relationship. That's my biggest accomplishment. So,